it's terribly hot tonight. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about something a little different from last week, but not completely. Actually, after my video about drift code Rustin Man, Paul Webb, Rustin Man, had the kindness to send me a message. He told me something which is very important, and I think that I must tell you because you have to be informed about that. I'm going to read his message exactly to be sure to say exactly what he said. So he said, by the way, so I'm talking about Paul Webb, Rustin Man. By the way, there are two ways I think you can interpret the lyrics for Brings Me Joy. The first is, like you say, someone's last moment on earth. But the other way is, it's just a song about the love of music and how it moves us. When I read that, I couldn't believe it because I didn't even think about that. It could have been my first thought. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I saw the worst. And actually, he's giving me here the best. So it's incredible how you can interpret lyrics by a completely different way. It completely shifted my way of listening to the song. It brings me joy. So I wanted to tell you this because maybe you too, you are going to understand the song differently. A song can be perceived by a completely different way according to what we understand of the lyrics or of the melody. It's not automatically about the lyrics. So it means that our perception is really very important in music. So I was thinking about that during the week. I listened to Rustin Man again. Even if my video was over, I still continue to listen to the drift code, and more I'm listening to it, less I see it's sad, probably because it becomes familiar to me more and more. I have a completely other perception already about it. It even changed since I made the video. It's incredible. I don't know if you see, it's not the same decor as usually on my couch. I decided to change just for this video because I wanted it to be more in alignment with what I'm going to say. So this blanket here is actually a Mexican blanket. I have a few ones like these in my home. I love these Mexican blankets. I'm not doing advertising for Mexican blankets. I'm just explaining something. I don't sell. I used to sell them, but not anymore. I'm not selling them. So these blankets, these Mexican blankets, I love them because when you are hot, when you are too hot, they are fresh, and when you are cold, they are really warm. So I always have one on my bed just in case. The other day I was missing one. I mean, I didn't have enough because my son was there, my older son was here, and I needed one and I didn't have. So when we went to Venice Beach, I did a video about that. It was just when Waking the Dream was released, the single by Derde Verde. And it was the same day when we went to Venice Beach with my son. And I was about to buy this one on Venice Beach. Just at that moment, so my son, my older son, was with me, and I don't see him often because he lives in Europe. Just at the moment when I was about to buy this blanket, Dylan Mackenzie, the singer of Derde Verde, sent me a message regarding the single being released, Waking the Dream. It was a very nice message, and at that moment there was this guys making everybody sing and dance on Venice Beach. It was very funny. I wanted to film that, and it was such a great moment. Everything was so sweet and pleasant, and I was on Venice Beach, the place on earth that I probably love the most. So it's such a good memory. I bought the blanket and I wanted to have it behind me for this video because I like to be surrounded with objects which remind me good memories and perfect moments. You know, these moments where everything is so perfect that you don't want them to stop because you know that wouldn't be as perfect later. Every time I see this blanket, it makes me happy. I want to do a video when I'm happy. This week also, I wanted to go back to the roots of why I started videos about Derde Verde. So of course, yes, at first I made them because of the tribute about Marcolis. That was the reason why I made them. But then Dylan told me that they were doing their own music, and I started getting some interest in their own music, and I discovered their own music online, mostly on YouTube at the beginning, and then I bought the CDs that I have here, and then I checked on their first album, which was made a very long time ago, 2009, on Bandcamp. I went back and back and back. I always like to know how musicians or artists start, because very often the beginning is almost the most important moment in a creation, because everything is there. The roots, the spirit, the intention, the spontaneity, a form of innocence. Yes, I think that it's the form of innocence that I love the most, because it's when people are the most happy to do what they do, sorry for the noise, when they are the most enthusiastic, I don't know how we say. Very often it's the moment that I love the most, because I like to find in artists this form of sincerity and spontaneity and enthusiasm, innocence. So I went back to listen to all the old songs, old, not so old, but I mean the previous songs, because they are about to release a second single, Your Ghost, which is, according to me, a hit. In October 11, they are going to release the new album, Slow Light. This album is completely different from the rest. We recognize Derde Verde, of course, but it's much more mature, it seems, according to what I heard so far, much more professional, much more serious. I try to find words to make you understand the difference between what was before and what is about to come soon now. Before everything new is released, I wanted to listen to what was before. What brought me to make these videos about Derde Verde, because I want to keep this impression that I had from the very beginning, this thing that made me want so much do videos about them. In their previous albums, I love them all, but I really have a thing for this one. The second one they made, because the first one is only digital online. Basically, all the songs in it are totally linked to each other. For example, Sunshine, Mirror and Pinwheel, for me it's three songs which are completely linked. We can add also Go to Sleep, which is a little in the same spirit. Everything is on the beach, according to me. That is the image that I have. Everything is on the beach. These songs represent the ocean, Venice Beach or another beach. And then you have Unnoticed, which has this form of innocence, but it's maybe less joyful. And you have Telescope and Clutch, which are linked also, and that I love totally. In this album, Let Me Be a Light, so this one was Moon Mirror, and this one is Let Me Be a Light. In it there is Tower, that I love so much. I listened to Tower the other day while taking photos outside. You know, when I stay during a very long time without listening to their songs and suddenly I listen to them again, wow, it's really powerful, and I love a lot Let Me In because of this psychedelic moment. And I Still Want Someone I think that one day I will have to do a video about this song because it's very, very particular, even if I talked about it already before, but I think that it almost deserves a video just for itself. In the last album, the previous album, I love Turn, I love Shattered Moon, so that is Meander Belt. But actually I love all the songs, but it's true that I have something for Turn, I have something for Shattered Moon, and actually I especially love the acoustic version of Shattered Moon. No, actually I love all the songs, but I really have a thing for Moon Mirror, this one. Maybe because there is this form of innocence in it, and there is this form of joy, there is some joy in it. I cannot talk all the time about Mirror, the song Mirror. I already talked about it in a previous video, and I cannot talk about the same song every 2 videos. You can't imagine how much I love it. So that is Sunshine. Oh my god. So much the Doors. I'm sorry I don't have the lyrics. Raymond Zarek here. It reminds me too much of my teenage years. I don't know why. It's so familiar to me, these songs on this album. It's like if I had already lived that in the past, except that it is now. I love the artwork on that. Cover artwork, Joshua Daniel. I love it. I really love it. I love the colors. So then it's Telescope. It's just a short piece. Then it's Mirror, the love of music. I didn't think that I could love this song more than I did when I started doing videos about Derde Verde. More I'm listening to it, more I love this song. I didn't think that it was possible to love even more a song. I listened to it yesterday while taking the photos, my photos for my work. I had to stop just to listen to the song. This one is... I don't know what it is, maybe because it reminds me so much of the ocean, and I'm craving the sea, I'm craving the ocean, so maybe that's that, or just I love the song. I love it more and more and more every day I'm listening to it. It happened to me with other artists that I love more and more their songs, like for Tok, for example, obviously for Rustin Man, because I love more the songs now that I did before. But this song, Mirror, I loved it right away. The first time I heard it, there was no question asked. I loved it. I didn't think that I could love it even more, and now I love it more. And it's so much that when it's done, I'm like, ah, I need more. It's what I would call an addictive song. And I can tell you even what he's talking about. I don't have the lyrics. I don't understand everything. I love the guitars like that. What I love the most in the song is, of course, the themes in the song. Shifts from one thing to the other. It goes from something to something really very different, but in the same time, it shifts by a very natural way. It doesn't shock. When they made this song, I don't think that they thought about, is it going to be a hit? Is it going to be playable on a radio? Is it going to be too short, too long? Are people going to remember each part? I don't think that they thought about that. They just did their thing how they wanted. And the result is that That's what I love the most, because it's natural, it's spontaneous. There is a form of innocence in it. And I think that the first time I listened to Derde Verde, actually the first song that I listened to was I Still Want Someone, which has this form of innocence also. And then I listened to the other songs. I found this form of innocence, kind of freshness that I love in music. It doesn't mean that all what I listen to is innocent and fresh and spontaneous and like brand new, of course not. I listen to very different things, but I think that what overwhelmed me the most when I started listening to Derde Verde was this kind of freshness and innocence. It reminds me so much of my teenage years. I could have listened to that then. It makes me feel good when I listen to that. That's probably why I go back all the time to this album specifically, because it makes me feel so good. So then it's Go to Sleep. So that is the kind of song that my friend Ron Kane, totally the kind of song that he would have loved. It has something very Beach Boys, very Californian. I like this song too. But then it's Pinwheel. Oh my God. Oh. It's the kind of song which makes me really very joyful. I can really visualize Pinwheels with this song. For me, it's a song which is very close to Mirror also. It's the same family. I also see the beach. I wanted to show in my painting, in my drawing, I wanted to show this kind of innocence, this kind of joy, something magical. There is some magic in it. And the sun and the ocean and the sand and the sky, when we all shine on. When we all shine on. I wanted to express this thing that I feel in this album, but also in the other ones, but chiefly in this one. The first time that I listened to Derde Verde, that's what I heard the most. This kind of freshness and innocence and joy. And I wanted that. I really wanted to absorb that because I love that. So I wanted to go back to why I was doing videos about Derde Verde. It was not a long time ago that I started. The tribute was in May, so I started beginning of June. 4 months. In 4 months, I have the feeling that I lived a whole life in 4 months. I don't know what happened. So many things happened. But I want to keep like a treasure what I discovered at the end of May, beginning of June 2019. I want to remember that forever because for me, it was a discovery like when I discovered Tok Tok, except that Tok Tok, it has never been innocent or joyful. It was not that. Actually, it was not joyful. Tok Tok has never been joyful. But here, it is joyful. At least this one. Then when you go there, that tower is joyful. Secret, I'm not sure. Let me in, it's half joyful. I Still Want Someone is very innocent. So it's half, I would say. And here, so Days of Draft, no, I wouldn't say that it's joyful. Staring into Dying Light, it's not very joyful. Turn, I find it joyful. Ready to Fall, it's not joyful. Shattered Moon, it's not supposed to be joyful, but I feel it joyful. I have the feeling that they go less and less joyful. So that's why I want to keep in mind that. And if you listen to their first album, which is only digital, Sleepy EP, it's very innocent also and very fresh. It's adorable. We cannot ask them to stay like kids all the time, of course not. They evolve and it's normal, and they mature and they become grown-ups and they have pains and it shows, and of course they cannot keep their freshness from the very beginning all the time. Of course not, but I want to keep that because I have it here. I don't want to forget what I heard the first time that I heard that. So, Pinwheel, yes. Painting and drawing, it helps me to understand better Derde Verde's music. I was doing that when I was a teenager, when I was younger. I was drawing by listening to music. Yes, I kept that for myself too long. I really have to do it now. I will continue doing that. It really helps. It helps me to understand what I love the most in their music and how I understand it and how I see it and how I feel it inside, and I really feel it inside for sure. Oh, that is so lovely. I don't have the lyrics, so I cannot even tell you what they are talking about. Maybe if I had the lyrics, maybe I would see the song differently. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I would like to have the lyrics. It would really help. When I love a song, I like to know everything about the song, of course, not only about the music. I understand a few words here and there, but I'm not sure to see the big picture of the song. Oh my God, that is so The Doors. Oh my God. Maybe also because it reminds me of The Doors, but a very joyful Doors. It's not made with the same spirit as The Doors, but I recognize a lot The Doors. This part could have been made when I was a teenager. It's so familiar to me. There is also this thing which makes this album so familiar to me, and I can't explain why. I can't put my finger on it, but for me it's so familiar. It's like if I always heard that. We hear the noise of the pinwheels. I love their hands. So then it's unnoticed, so it doesn't fit exactly with the subject of this video. It's the song when I got completely frozen in a Target. I remember the episode. I was listening to that. I arrived in Target in the main alley, and suddenly, I don't know what happened. I was listening in my earplugs, and suddenly I was like, frozen in the middle of the alley, listening to the song like if I was, frozen is the word. And I stayed like that the time of the song, and someone came to me asking me if I was fine. imagine the face that I was doing, but it was reminding me something, a memory. I don't even know what the memory is. Something that I have in my mind, probably, that I recorded in my mind. So you see, I'm saying it reminds me of my teenage years, and it reminded me something of England. And yes, I was seeing, if I remember well, I was seeing a fence or gate, a metallic fence, black, and suddenly, like if it was taking me in the past, but I don't know what past. I don't know what it was about. So this song is very strange to me. That is my love. Oh, I love it. So that is very different. Not the same spirit at all. Oh, this I could listen to it the whole day. I love that. I know how it was done now. They didn't do it in once, but in twice, in 2 takes, because it's impossible to be so fast. It's a whole story, this song. It's the noise of an elevator. In 1 week, the new single, Your Ghost, is going to be released in a little less than 1 month now. The new album is going to be released. We are going to go to something completely different, which is going to be great. I'm not saying that that's good and what is coming is bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that that is spontaneous, fresh, innocent, and what is going to come is as good, maybe even better, but much more professional, much more grown-ups, much more mature. They are not kids anymore, they are becoming men now. and we are going to go in something which is quite different, which is much more elaborate and thought. So before we go there, I absolutely wanted to go back here, because even if I'm an old lady, I think that I remained a child in my mind somehow. I'm so attached to that. So beside this, I didn't want to talk only about that. I just wanted to keep you posted about what I did during the week. I actually went to see a show at Echoplex. What an adventure that evening! Oh, you can't imagine what happened to me. So I went to Echoplex. Why? So Echoplex is in Los Angeles, not very far from me. I suppose that it's in Echo Park, I think. It's not in the best neighborhood in Los Angeles. There is worse, but there is also better, especially at night. I wanted to go there to see a band, Runner, that I didn't know. Well, I know their name, but I didn't know really their music. I just listened to a little online. But I wanted to go because Derde Verde or other people were talking about them, so I thought, okay, they are playing there, why not? I can go, it's close, why not? So I went there. First, there was this girl named Jolie Holland. She was singing mostly some kind of country music, very soft, very calm. So Echoplex, it's huge. It's really huge. I was surprised when I came in, the size of the place. It's too big. It's too big for what I went to see. It was mostly empty. It was so dark also. I was a little tired because I had edited my drift code video during 2.5 days, and then I went to the show, so I rather wanted to sleep actually, but I decided that I would go, so I went. I almost, not that I didn't like the lady, she was really good, she was singing really well, it's just that it was very calm music and it was calming me, and I had a tendency to fall asleep a little. Then I received a message from someone on my phone and I had to answer something rather quickly. So I was answering the message. It just when the second band, so the name of the second band, I always forget it. It's Traps, yes, it's Traps PS. So Traps PS, I thought, okay, whatever. Fell Runner is just after, I'm going to be patient. When they started, the second they started, wow, it awoke me. I can tell you I couldn't sleep anymore. The guy was singing, I don't know if the word singing is the right word, more singing, screaming. And jumping all around. The guitarist was also jumping all around. But it made me stand up and go to see what they were doing. It's the least probable band that I could like normally. I don't know why I like them. I really like them. So they reminded me of a mix of Simple Minds in the 80s when Jim Kerr was kind of screaming a little like that with this kind of echo on the voice, you know. One night, like complaining in the voice, like a form of complaint in the voice. And in the same time, it was making me think of the Clash, of something punk in them. And in the same time, it was a little funky. So it was a mix of things that I usually love. So even though this kind of band usually it's not the kind of thing that I would listen to in a normal time, actually it's what I love the most in the show. like that. And I was thinking all the time, how can I like that? But I do like that. Why? Why? What I'm doing to myself? So you see, I have a very eclectic taste. I'm not saying that I'm going to do videos about them. Actually, they had a lot of success. They seem to have a lot of fans, and I understand that because they are really good actually. They play really well. There are songs that I really liked. The first song they played, I liked it so much that I asked them where we could find it because I couldn't find it, and they told me it's normal, it's not released yet, it's going to be released in 2020. So now I'm waiting for the album because I love this song. We can never know. That's why we must always go and see and listen to things. Then it was Fell Runner. I liked it. I liked it. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to do tons of videos about them. Let's say that it's not in my taste enough to do videos about them. I've been working hard, training my mind to sit tight. But they seem very sympathetic and they are good on stage. The sound was good. There are two different singers. There's been a feeling in my head, an oven of dread baking my brain into a dry loaf of bread. I need a break, but it's a race, and if I quit, then I'm dead. So the two voices are very different. It's interesting. I like what they do with the guitars at the very beginning of each song. They do something interesting with the guitars. It is a waving of hands. I liked it, but I prefer Traps PS. I preferred the crazy punk. This is a song about my friend named Jeff who wants to be an astronaut. Anyway, the whole evening was completely crazy. He's just a guy like you now. Once Fell Runner was done, I left. I was tired. I wanted to go to bed. But I didn't know what was going to happen then. When I came to Echoplex, I told the address on Sunset Boulevard. The Uber, the woman who was driving, she took me to the address on Sunset Boulevard. I arrived. I asked, where is Echoplex? Someone told me it's there. So I was at the right place. When I left to go back home, I called the Uber. I gave the same address on Sunset Boulevard. And the driver, it was a woman again, she didn't arrive and she said, I'm here. On my phone, she sent a message, I'm here. No, hello, you are not here. I'm here, you are not here. And we started talking and she said, no, I'm here, no, I'm here, no, you're not here. And I was like, okay, I cancel, I'm going to call another driver because I couldn't argue with a Uber driver at night, no. So I called another one, same problem. He said, I'm here. And I said, no, you're not here. So I thought, what is this craziness? I started really worrying because I thought I'm never going to leave this place. The place, dark. Some people were going out of Echoplex, so it's not like if I was alone in the street. There were some people passing all the time. So I was not alone, but still it was the night. There was this homeless guy who desperately needed a cigarette, and he was coming to me every 5 minutes to ask for a cigarette, and every time I was telling him, I'm sorry, I don't smoke, I don't have a cigarette. And he was like, I want a cigarette. Finally, he found one, but during, I don't know, 15 minutes, he was coming every 5 minutes to ask me for a cigarette. In the meantime, a musician, I think it's the Traps PS drummer, went out with his car from the parking lot, and as I was there waiting for my Uber driver. He asked me if I could help him get out of the parking lot because he couldn't see the street if cars were arriving. I wanted to help him. I ended up doing the circulation. And during this time I was still waiting for my Uber driver. I had the homeless guy who was coming to me, I want a cigarette, and the other one who wanted me to help him to get out of the parking lot. And I thought, I'm never going to leave this place. And I was not laughing then. I started really panicking. And finally, I suppose the boss or someone who worked in this shop, the tattoo shop, he came out and asked me what was the problem because he saw that I was really panicking. And I told him I don't understand. I don't manage to have a Uber coming here. And he said, what address do you give? And I said Sunset Boulevard. I don't remember the number. He said, no. Here we are on Glendale Boulevard. So I was giving the false address all the time. So, wait a minute, how could I arrive to a false address and be at the right place? Because I gave a false address when I came also. But she took me at the right place. Most crazy night I had. Fortunately, the tattoo guy, he gave me a business card with the exact address where I was. And so the third driver finally arrived there, and I loved him so much to arrive and to pick me up. And finally I arrived at home, but this whole story took almost 1 hour. You know, I was starting to really worry. I thought that I was in the Bermuda Triangle, you know, or in the Twilight Zone again. I'm a lot in the Twilight Zone lately. And for me, you imagine 4 months ago, I couldn't even get out of the house alone at night. And now I end up there in this neighborhood. Actually, what I will remember of that night is that and Traps PS. I see you in my next one, and I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to comment if you want to. I see you very soon. Bye bye.